early on, I came from a background of not basketball, so when I made my first state team, that was a achievement. I made the under-20 New South Wales team, and from that, making the Australian under-20 team was another big achievement. And soon after, I was playing for Australia, and I spent about the next 10 years, decade, playing for the Australian team, making the '82 World Championships, and us doing really well. I think it was the best result, and being part of that process was great. I think '84 Olympics, again, trying to reach a new level was really good, and '86 World Championships, unfortunately we didn't go well, but the preparation and trying to achieve, and I think we led the Soviet Union team at half time, which was a good effort. I think the '88 was coming to the end of my Australian career, and being able to get myself ready after a knee reconstruction and getting back into it, that was another highlight there. And I love playing for Sydney too, so I had lots of good memories and highlights there of all the National League teams here coming back and helping start the Sydney Kings. It was a great effort, and for everyone involved there, it was a real buzz at the time. Even the early days with the Astronauts and starting the NBL, so I was sort of like a young bloke involved with the start of the National League and representing Sydney. It was an honour there. So there's so many different things. I think going through different areas when I was playing for Sydney one year, and most of the boys were moving on and not playing the following year, and I had the opportunity to go and play over in Adelaide for a while, which really helped me as an individual, playing against different people, different coaching styles and things. And we won the national title that year too, so that was good. And I think the same thing happened in '83. Everybody came back and played for our '83 team, and we led the league, we're minor premiers. But then, unfortunately, financially, things didn't work out. We didn't make budgets and things, and everyone was sort of again in trouble by the end of the year. The club went broke, and I went and played in Victoria for a while, and we won a couple of state championships down there. So there's lots of little highlights. I wouldn't say I enjoyed all of them, and I don't think there was anything in particular, but I certainly really enjoyed playing when I was representing New South Wales at Sydney, and that was special for me. Well, obviously it's a very special to be nominated and actually achieve the Hall of Fame. I'd like to thank the City of Sydney Association for nominating me, and also I guess that's where I got my start in basketball. I was playing a little bit of AFL, a little bit of rugby, and playing local comp over Manly Way, and I started to play over for City of Sydney, and there were some people around that were nominated last time, like Charlie Ammett and Bob Staunton and those guys, and they really helped me get going. And then later on, Andrew Lazarus and people like that, and it's a special club, and I think I'd really thank those guys in Basketball New South Wales. So it's a privilege for me. I mean, I've been involved with the sport for so long, but not won too many different things, so I'm really thrilled about it. Yeah, well, I guess early on, my memories, good memories, playing out at Alexandria on, midweek competition, Monday night, Wednesday night, and meeting all the different people there, all these good people, and usually we'd go down to the Zetland for a few after game drinks and things, and I think that was pretty special, and there was a good little crew together there. I've been speaking, staying in touch with people. I'm involved in coaching now, so you see all the old players around at the basketball stadiums. Their kids are involved, or they've been asked back to coach. I mean, all those memories are really special too. I think I think earlier on there was a Sydney Championships midweek, and that was a really fun thing to be involved in for players. They've got it more of a home and away thing now, but yeah, there was some really fierce competition, and I think most teams had an American or so, and it was really high level basketball. Also, I guess, memories in New South Wales basketball, being involved and helping things like in the schools competition with, it's got up to a high level, and there's been a lot of people involved in that, and being part of that's been great. And I think just participation level, being able to help get more people to play the game and be part of that process as a development officer in different areas has been really special, and something I enjoyed doing too. But I was talking to my dad the other day about the early days of basketball in the area, and him and a couple of my uncles and some of their friends were involved in the early games out in the Manly area, where it was like a DY Surf Club against North Narrabeen Surf Club, and they used to have different events, and they started some basketball up in North Head area, and listening to him talk about all that stuff, that's really exciting stuff too, how basketball started in the area and how it got going, and they used to play on concrete courts and things, and must have been hard when you fell and stuff, but and going through the development of the sport in the area. So there's so many different memories of basketball, and I think the important thing for me is all the people that you meet. There's so many good people in the sport, and even early on Sydney Y, and people come up to me the other day and said, "Oh, hi, remember me from 30 years ago," and so it's pretty special just to be involved with the sport. Early on in the National League, we had a team from Wollongong, one from Newcastle, one from Bankstown, one from City of Sydney. So we had four New South Wales teams and Canberra Cannons playing in the NBL. So I'd like to see that come back again. And there was also a chance for all the other clubs to play against them midweek. So you'd have this really good midweek competition where, say your teams like Manly or Parramatta, they could get a team together and try and knock off Sydney Kings, or knock off, or back then it was Sydney Supersonics, or knock off the Bankstown Bruins during the week, and it keeps the level of basketball at it, so it's not such a big jump for a young bloke on one of those teams to jump across and make a roster in an NBL, and there's more opportunity there as well for you to make a team. At the moment, was there 9 teams, and there's 2 Americans in each team, so you're looking at only 70 guys getting a chance to play NBL. So I'd like to see that change. I'd like to see more basketball in the press and on TV, if that's possible. I know they do surveys all the time, but I question the accuracy on some of the results. And I still, after the '84 Olympics, I started to get involved in coaching and development work, where Lindsay Gaze sort of came up to me and said, "Oh, I want you to apply for this development job." And I thought, "Oh, I wouldn't be very good at that." And I ended up doing it, and I've been doing it ever since anyway. And it's going out to schools and organising, young primary school kids into competitions and stuff, and I still do that. And I'd say everywhere you go, the kids want to play basketball. It's one of those games that they love it, and it's just making it easy for them to play. And if you do that, then your grassroots is always healthy, and these kids, like thousands, we're talking thousands of kids that want to play the game, and making it easy for them to get on the court somewhere and play. I think that's important. So I'd like to see more access to that. I don't know how that can be done. I know when I was playing for NBL, part of our job was to go out and a lot of times you'd come to training at 4 o'clock really, really tired, because you'd been at a school from 9 to 3, and and you might have been at one school 9 to 12 and then another school 12:30 to 3, and working with the kids. And I know the new Kings organisation are keen to get back involved in all that sort of stuff, but getting more people out there, it'd be great to see that happen. And that Sydney Championships, I'd like to see that getting up again so that you get a chance to play against some of the NBL teams.